बाकीचं नाही. कसं translate? Layered task. In layered architecture of network model, one whole network process is divided into small tasks. Each small task is then assigned to a particular layer which works dedicatedly to the process the task only. Every layer does not only specific layer. In layered communication system, one layer of the host deals with the task done by or to be done by its peer layer at the same level on the remote host. The task is either initiated by the layer at the lowest level or at the topmost level. If the task is initiated by the topmost layer, it is passed on to the layer below it for further processing. The lower layer does the same thing. It processes the task and passes on to lower layer. If the task is initiated by lower most layer, then the reverse path is taken. Following figure shows the layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. Layer task. We use the concept of layers in our daily life. As an example, let us consider two friends who communicate through postal mail. The process of sending letter to be friend would be complex if there were no service available from the post office. Below, figure shows the steps in this task. First, a sender side process. The letter is written, put in the envelopes and drops in a mailbox. The letter is carried from the mailbox, the post office. The letter is delivered to an carrier by the post office. At the receiver side, the letter is picked up, removed from the envelope and read. The letter is carried from the post office to be the mailbox. The letter is delivered from the carrier to the post office. As the sender side, the activities that take place at the sender side, higher layer, middle layer and lower layer. Higher layer, the sender writes the letter, inserts the letter in an envelope, writes the sender and receiver addresses and drops the letter in a mailbox. Middle layer, the letter is picked up, the letter carrier to and delivered to the post office. Lower layer, the letter is sorted by the post office. A carrier transports the letter. On the way, the letter is in. The letter is then on its way to the recipient. On the way to the recipient's local post office, the letter may actually go through the central office. In addition, it may be transported by truck, train, airplane, and boat, or any other combination of this. At the receiver side, lower layer, middle layer and higher layer, the carrier transports the letter and to the post office. In the middle layer, the letter is sorted and delivered to the recipient's mailbox. And higher layer, the receiver picks up the letter, opens the envelope and reads. The OSI model, minus the physical medium, is based on a proposal developed by the International Standards Organization, that is ISO, as a first step towards international standardization of the protocols used in various layers. Day and Zimmerman, 1983. It was revised in 1995. The model is called as ISO, that is OSI Open System Interconnection references model because it deals with the connecting open system, that is system that are open for communication, and other system we will just call to the OSI model for short. The OSI model has 7 layers. The principles that were applied to arrive at the 7 layers can be briefly summarized as follows. 1. A layer should be created where the different abstractions is needed. Each layer should perform a well-defined function. And last, number 3, the function of each layer should be chosen with an eye toward defining internationally standardized protocols. Question number 4, the layer boundaries should be chosen to minimize the formation flow across the interfaces. The number of layers should be large enough that distinct functions need not be thrown together in the same layer out of necessity, and small enough that its architecture does not become unwieldy. That is application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, and data link layer, physical layer. Okay, we will stop. Thank you.